Working with a jelly plate can be sometimes very frustrating, and you can get varying results, as I did when I recently had a lovely afternoon playing with my jelly plate and various different acrylics. So if you'd like to see the highs and lows of that session, please continue to watch. I'm going to proceed on now to using the jelly plate, but what I'll do is I'll show you a few of the products that I'm using. This is just the jelly plate itself, and I put it on a clarity mount. You can get the information from claritystamp.co.uk. So that's my jelly plate. I'm going to use some of these paints that I spoke about in a previous video. I've got those two there, the green gold, which is transparent, a Winsor & Newton buff titanium, some Amsterdam sky blue light, and Paynes grey. I'm also going to use these stencils, and what I thought I would do to begin with is to have a look at them and see what it would look like, hopefully, when I use them on the jelly plate. So I'm going to use this one here. As you can see, they're all very well worn, and I'm going to put this behind. So I've overlaid one on top of the other, really just to see what it would look like. If it's such a confusing pattern, then I would try and choose something else, and also it gives me an idea as to which way to lay it down when I do put it down. Also, I think this one would go quite nicely with this little floral pattern. So we're going to use these these three stencils and a combination of the different paints. I don't know what's going to happen. It could be an absolute disaster, or it could be something that turns out really very pleasantly surprising. So let's see, and we'll start off by putting some paint on the jelly plate. I'm going to start with a very simple pull, and I'm going to use this Winsor & Newton paint, and this is opaque. If you don't know what these little squares are referring to, then if you have a look back at the link of the video that I'll leave in the description, you'll be able to see exactly what the various different squares mean. Don't need an awful lot. And to pull the print, I'm using this calligraphy paper, so you can have a look at that. And it's not hugely expensive, but it's okay to use on these experiments. And when you're putting it down, you always put the smooth side down, not the rough side, smooth side down. So when you're using your brayer, don't scrub it back and two. Just move it along and lift it up as you go. And that will spread the paint out nice and evenly for you. We're just wanting a thin coating. And I'm also going to get a piece of paper here, and I'll use that just to clean my brayer off. So we'll go with this one here, lay it on top, get the calligraphy paper, and remembering to put it smooth side down, we'll take our first impression. And what I'm doing now is just going between the little holes in the stencil, trying to lift the paint. So what will be left will be the pattern of the, I think it's kind of poppy seed heads, I think. That's what it looks like to me. By using these kind of papers, or a deli paper or something like that, tissue paper, you can actually see, hopefully, that you're lifting the paint. The other good thing is that if you're using one of these Perspex plates, you can see what's happening on the other side as well. You can lift it over and check out what's happening. Well, let's just lift it up. So there we have a nice impression of the poppies. So I'm going to leave the stencil in place. I'm not going to lift it off for the moment. And I'm going to put some more of exactly the same titanium, buff titanium onto the stencil and the plate, and roll the paint in and trying to get inside those lovely shapes that make up the poppy seed head. Sometimes by listening you can tell that you've got too much paint on, but the more you do it, the more confidence you will get by using the plate and the brayer and knowing how much paint to apply. Sometimes it comes out a little bit more quickly than you would want it to. So using the calligraphy paper again, going smooth side down. I'm not going to take the stencil off. I'm going to put the stencil on top of the plate and do exactly the same as I've just done. Oops, I think I've got two pieces there. They're ever such thin pieces of paper. Try and remember to get between these little holes in the stencil, because the more you actually try to push through, the more of the paint will come back and stick onto the paper. So let's see how that is. So here we have a very, very simple pull. We've used the same stencil and we've used the same paint, and you get this really nice effect, a real nice textured effect on top of the stencil. And this is going to be lovely in a collage. We can do other things on top of it, but that is the very, very, very simple thing that you can do by using the same stencil and the same paint to get this really nice effect, especially with this kind of textured area. So moving on, we're going to use this part here. Perhaps I've gone over a little bit too much, but never mind. I can use a different plate with that and use that side. But we're going to continue with this, and maybe we want to take some more of that paint off. We can do that by using, this is just deli paper. Let's just see if I can get some more paint off. Yeah, you can just see it coming through there. Just trying to remove a little bit more. here's the same stencil left in place. I've left it to dry a little bit more, and I've decided to go with this Amsterdam Sky Blue Light, which is an opaque, and I'll pop some on top of the stencil, and what it will do is again go between the spaces between these little flowers. I think I'm being a bit heavy-handed today with the paint. Sometimes you don't put enough paint on, other times you slather it on and you end up having to take it off. But the good thing is, it will always make some nice collage paper. Go for one more pass. Okay, I think that's about it. We can take the stencil off this time. And I think I'm going to let that dry. Let's see what's happening on the opposite side. So we can see that we've got the blue in the background, and we've got the nice tighten buff. But I've changed my mind. I'm going to pull this print. The lady's prerogative to change her mind. And I've changed mine. Smooth side down. I've left less room on this side, so I can definitely get another pull in that side. Give it a good rub down. Just have a peep, see what's going on. Yep, it looks as though it's going to lift off quite nicely. So here we are with the results, and it's not exactly what I was hoping for, and that's what happens when you're using your jelly plate. Sometimes you're surprised, sometimes it doesn't happen exactly as you want it to do, but absolutely no problems. What I will do now is I'm going to take this off. I'm going to let that dry some more, although it seems to be dry to the touch a little bit. I'm going to let it dry for a few more minutes, and then I'm going to go over it with the Paynes grey. So currently we have this piece of paper here, which was the two together, two colours, same stencil, and then I left the stencil on. You can just see a little bit of an outline there from the Titan buff underneath, or buff Titan. Yeah, bit of a surprise that, but that's the whole point of doing these things, so you can see that not all the time things are going smoothly. Let's try putting some titanium, or not titanium, sorry, Paynes grey. And like I said at the beginning, who knows what's going to happen. Move that to one side. Just lightly going over it, not pressing down very hard. Just put a smear of this on here. trying to get as much off as I can, and hopefully I can fit this on here. Yeah. Some of the best pulls that I've ever done have been as a result of experimentation and doing things wrong. So you never know what to expect. Always expect the unexpected. And that is just wild, isn't it? We've got the blue, aqua blue, we've got the buff titanium, and we've got the Paynes grey in the background. So how wild is that? We have this one here, which is, as I said, the same colour. This one that didn't turn out the way I thought it was going to, but is still very pleasant. And this one here, which is really, really quite pretty. So I'm pleased with that. I'm going to do something with this, and I'm going to have a little bit of a think and then come back and we'll continue on. I love to play the what if game, and I'm going to play it now. So what if I use this, and what if I used it on top of this? Well, we'll see. I'm going to use the transparent green gold. I'm going to put this on the plate. Trying not to put too much on this time. Here's the other side of this, because I've got an idea for this. Now then, making sure that I put it the right way round for the picture that I'm going to use. Let's go this way. So this time I'm going to use this piece of paper here, which was my roll-off paper, to get the impression of the geometric stencil. Try to get off as much as I can. This is more difficult here because I'm not using the deli paper or the calligraphy paper. Tissue paper would be absolutely great as well. So let's see. Ooh. Now that is lovely. Again, that can be used. Let's just get some more of this off here. I think I'm going to use tissue paper for this. Just get rid of this bit of build-up here. Okay. We take this off and quickly put this on. I will give you a demonstration about how you can align this properly each time, but as it's just a demonstration, near enough will do. So these colours go quite nicely together, don't they? So that's quite subtle. Quite subtle. That's even better. But what if I went really bold with this and used Paynes Grey? What if indeed? Rather a lot on there again, as per usual. I'll run it up on here. It's sliding around, so I've put way too much on, way too much. And we'll go with this and get rid of some of the diamonds in the middle of the stencil. I think my watchword would be, this could go hideously wrong. But you always learn, A, by mistakes, and B, by experimenting. And that looks quite nice. I can put a nice glaze over that, so that would be lovely. Let's take this off and we'll go back to this one and have a look, see what it will look like. There we go. Again, not what I expected, but it's rather pleasant. It completely threw me as to what was going to happen there, but it's rather nice. Let's go again. I'm on a roll now. Let's try and put these diamonds back on where we took them from. There we go. Try not to put on as much as I did last time. These small plates are really good to begin with when you're learning or practicing or experimenting with your jelly plate. So we're going to go with this one. I'm rather pleased with this one. And I'm rather surprised with this one. Well, it's different. You can see the pattern of the poppy heads just inside there, and we've got that rather nice diamond pattern again. Let's put it on here, see if I can get it anywhere close to where we need it. So this isn't a conventional tutorial on how to use the jelly plate. It's more of a let's experiment and let's play what if. Oh, we've got the same kind of effect there as we have on here. And if we put some, let's put some green gold on there like that. Just need a very thin coating of this. And I'll get some, got this little piece here that just about been able to salvage. And you know what, that's probably the best part of it all. So what we learned today, well, we've learned that using the jelly plate can be a real surprise. Started off with the same stencil and using buff titanium, and we got the pattern underneath here, which was really pleasant until I spoiled it and by putting the diamonds on top, but hey, you live and learn. Then what I did, I kept the stencil on and I put some of the Amsterdam sky blue on it, and it didn't come out as I expected. We just had like little blobs of the titanium, the sky blue on top of the buff titanium. And then I went over it again with Paynes grey and got this rather nifty result, which I'm thrilled with. So that was experiment 2. Then I did the stencil again and I put some of the green gold on top and got this little transparent pattern peeking through. And on top of that, I decided that I was going to put the diamond stencil on and take the piece of paper here to get rid of what was inside the diamonds, and then put the paper on top and got this outline of the diamond, which again looks quite nice. It's not what I expected it to happen, but again this will look really nice in one of my collages. I've also used this is my runoff paper, and I've used another stencil and got this as a, well, it was just going over the stencil to get rid of the amount of paint that was lurking there on the stencil. So that is quite nice as well. This one we won't speak about because it's rather weird and wonderful. And finally, just getting the jelly plate cleanish again, we result in this, and I think that's absolutely fabulous. I really like it. So one jelly plate, a few pieces of paper, varying results, learned what to do and what not to do. I hope I've passed some information on to you, and I'm going to continue with another what if exercise on what will happen if I use the jelly plate with a different pattern, and maybe keeping with these paints, and we'll expect something completely different. So that's going to be the next video.